Our series begins with Magu, who woke up late. Today was her first day at university, and since her mother failed to keep her promise, Magu called her foolish. She quickly got ready and left the house. While running, she reached the bus station only to find the bus had just left. She chased after it and managed to catch up. Shortly after boarding, she called her friend Minu to find out whether the university gates had been closed or not. While sitting there, her pen fell and rolled under the seat of a boy sitting in front of her. He picked it up and gave it back to her. His name was John, and she thanked him. Then she touched up her makeup and was instantly impressed by John's appearance. Later, after getting off the bus, she opened her bottle to drink water. But before it spilled, John helped her by holding the bottle for her and warned her to be careful. Then he walked away. Elsewhere at the university, we see a boy named Park talking to his friend, asking if she was on her way to campus. While they were chatting, a very beautiful girl named Roos approached and asked if they could share a taxi to save money. Park agreed. While they were in the taxi, Roos admitted she had lied. She didn't have any money and hoped he could cover the cost for her. She promised to repay him. However, when Park opened his wallet, he realized he also had no money, which startled him. Roos assured him it was okay and that she would pay the fare. She then asked for his contact details so she could get her money back later. When Park arrived at the university, he met up with his girlfriend. They were a popular couple on campus, often posting pictures on social media. Other students were jealous of their relationship and admired them. Meanwhile, Maagu was telling her friend about the guy who helped her on the bus. Although she liked him, she didn't know his name. A while later, while in class with her friend, she unexpectedly saw the same guy and asked who he was. Her friend told her his name was John, and that he was talking to another girl. Magu was upset, thinking John might be romantically involved with the other girl. But her friend clarified that the girl was actually John's sister, named Yangi, and shared more details about her. During the conversation, Magu realized that John knew Yangi very well. Then she confidently said, "No matter how great she is, I'm better, and I want to win her brother over." Afterward, John came over, greeted her, and asked if she remembered him. He also asked for her name. She told him her name was Magu. They chatted and joked for a while, and she found herself liking him even more. She then asked if they could be friends, and he agreed. He promised they'd meet again soon and left. Later, Magu told her friend how handsome John was, and how much she liked him. She also felt lucky to have met and become friends with him. Elsewhere, we see Jimmy walking to the bathroom. On her way, she bumped into a boy and immediately apologized. Once inside, she ran into her friend Roos, and they were both very happy to see each other again after a long time. While hanging out, they agreed to go on a trip together. Jimmy noticed how cheerful Roos had become and asked her the name of her boyfriend. Roos said she'd tell her later. In another scene, Magu is seen moving her belongings into the university dorm. When she entered her room, she met her new roommate, a girl named Nuna. They were to share a bunk bed. Magu asked to have the bottom bunk because she sometimes falls from beds at night, but Nuna refused, saying she needed it herself. Magu was disappointed and reluctantly took the top bunk. Later, all the girls in the room gathered and introduced themselves. Nuna explained that she had diabetes and frequent seizures, which is why she needed the bottom bunk. Also in the dorm were Park and his friends, including a new boy named Jin-hook. The three of them got to know each other and discovered they had similar personalities. Later, Magu's friend sent her a message inviting her to lunch. While they were hanging out, he showed her an app he had developed that helps people find their ideal partner. She told him it was a brilliant idea. As she walked away, she decided to try the app herself and asked it to match her with someone who could be her life partner. To her surprise, the app matched her with John, and she was thrilled. Elsewhere, let's go back to several years ago when Rusi was still in school. A boy in her class named Dungi sent her a message saying he wanted to be in a relationship. She was overjoyed, thinking he meant her. But then he revealed he actually wanted the number of her friend, because he liked her instead. Her happiness instantly turned into disappointment, and she was deeply hurt by it. The next day, her friend Ji-min told her that the boy had spoken to her instead, which made Rusi even more upset. Meanwhile, John was spending a lovely time with Magu at the cafe, and things were going really well between them. The next day, Magu went elsewhere to apply for a job. When she met the manager, he liked her immediately and told her he would hire her without any conditions. No test or interview required. She was thrilled. He also told her he had graduated from the same university she was attending and said she could come to him if she ever needed help. Elsewhere, Jimin and Park were hanging out together when Rusi arrived. Jimin told Rusi that she and Park were just friends. Park, who had a crush on Rusi, was disappointed to hear that. After that, the group went to Lover's Lane, a place where couples often met. While they were there, Park confessed to Jimin, calling her foolish but promising never to leave her, because he loved her deeply. He said they should let the future unfold naturally. Elsewhere, Magu was talking with her friend and finally managed to get John's number. When she returned to the hostel, she began chatting with him. After she told her friends about it, they said she was incredibly lucky. Magu began spending most of her time listening to romantic songs, thinking about John. Meanwhile, Yangi met John at the cafe. She explained that her relationship with John was purely platonic and based on mutual understanding. John confirmed they were just close siblings. However, she asked him not to mention anything to their family. That day at the university, John was walking with several drinks in hand when he unexpectedly ran into Nuna. Since she had diabetes, she appeared to be collapsing. She quickly grabbed one of his drinks and drank it. Once she felt better, she thanked him and left. Elsewhere, Jimin was training hard because she planned to attend an upcoming university event. However, when she checked her wardrobe for the dress, she couldn't find it and was disappointed. One of the girls came and gave her a dress, saying she had found it in the trash. Jimin was shocked. It turned out that Rusi had done this out of jealousy and resentment. Later, when Jimin confronted Rusi about it, Rusi pretended to be innocent and acted like she was just as upset. She asked Jimin if she suspected anyone, hinting that the culprit must have been envious. Jimin, however, told her it wasn't a big deal, but requested that she not tell Park, since the dress had been a gift from him, along with a special necklace. The next day, Jimin met with Park, and while they were together, Magu saw the couple's matching necklaces and became jealous. Later, while talking with her friend, Magu said that she and John were finally getting along well. As usual, they went to the cafe. While they were eating, Yangi sneakily took a funny picture of Magu mid-bite and told her he would send it to John. Magu replied, "If you send that to John, I'll release your childhood photos, and you'll regret it." She also threatened to send them to his friend. Fearing this, Yangi stopped. Elsewhere, Park was with Rusi and thanked her for helping him with his project. Seeing how tired he was from all the work, Rusi felt sympathetic. She really loved him. She then called the chef and asked him to prepare and deliver a cake to Park, since she came from a wealthy family. After chatting for a while, Park thanked her, saying he now considered her a close friend. "At first, I thought you were arrogant," he admitted, "but you've shown me you're a good person." Later, when the three of them went to the cafe, Rusi noticed a special couple's necklace in Jimin's bag. She asked whether she and Park were related. After they left the cafe, Park's mother called him to thank him for sending the cake to Jimin. When Rusi realized that she had arranged the cake, but Jimin got the credit, she was furious, though she hid her anger. Meanwhile, while Maagu was with her friend and her friend's brother, he immediately asked what kind of relationship he had with his sister and whether he intended to marry her. He explained, "When we were young, we started working early to support her education so she could succeed. One day, I wanted to buy a burger from the store, but because I was poor, I couldn't afford it." Then, Magu's friend's brother told her that he didn't currently have the money, but that when he did, he would marry her sister. Later, when he asked Maagu about the cost of the wedding, she told him it would be expensive and would require a lot of money. From this, we learned that the brother hoped to find a suitable husband for his sister, and the idea of funding it himself surprised him. But Maagu jokingly told him that when they're older, she and her friend's brother would marry each other. However, the man responded that he was already grown up and no longer a child like before. Elsewhere, Nooni was on the phone with her mother, who said, "Your voice sounds faint. Are you okay?" Nooni immediately went to her friend and asked him to check her blood sugar level. But since her voice had changed, he couldn't quite understand what was going on. After the test, she shared the results with her mother to reassure her and ease her worries. She also told the boy that she has diabetes and that's why she took his drink earlier. But she doesn't like being a burden or relying on others, since she prefers to handle her own problems. Nonetheless, she told him, "I owe you a big debt for helping me that day, and I will treat you in return. You're someone I truly value." The next day, while Magu was with Jean, he asked where she had gone the day before and told her that he had liked her from the very first moment he saw her. But the girl responded, "Then why didn't you tell me everything back then?" Elsewhere, Rusi met with her friend, and together with another boy, they all started playing video games. We find out that the boy was deeply sad because he had recently lost his entire family. Magu, his friend, tried to comfort and uplift him, but he gently refused, saying he wasn't in the right mindset to join them. She reassured him, saying they would meet again and that the most important thing was for him to find happiness again. Meanwhile, Junhook was researching diabetes on Google and discovered that it's a very serious condition. He also learned that Rusi was at risk because she suffers from it. Elsewhere, Jimin approached Park and Rusi and asked them how they first met. Park explained that the first time they met, they shared a taxi so they could split the fare. On another front, John sent a message to Magu, asking to meet her at the university entrance. The girl was very excited and thought maybe he was finally going to confess his feelings for her. She called her friend to share the news, but since her friend was feeling down, she didn't seem interested. Later, Magu met John in his car, and when she got in, he warmly welcomed her and gave her a gift. She was overjoyed and thanked him. As they walked together, another couple saw them and began gossiping. When they arrived at the library, Magu followed John inside, and later, when they entered a room to order food, Yangi and her friend followed them in. Later, after John had fallen asleep, Yangi and Magu went outside together. Yangi asked if they could go for a walk, and during the outing, the two girls raced each other for fun. When Yangi met up with John again, they had a conversation. At that time, Yangi told John that Maagu was deeply in love with him. A bit later, Maagu and her friend reunited, and she told her she was very happy because she had finally gotten a job. At the park, while Park was with Jimin, she asked him to explain the truth about his relationship with Rusi. He replied that since her birthday was coming up, he only wanted to help her prepare, and that nothing romantic was going on between them, so she shouldn't worry. But in reality, we learn that there was a secret relationship between Park and Rusi. Later, we see a boy hiding his identity on an app and asking Magu to meet. When she met him at night, it turned out he had mental issues, and since they were alone, he pulled out a weapon and tried to assault her. But she quickly pulled pepper spray from her bag and sprayed it in his eyes before escaping. She hid in a parking garage and called her friend, but since he was at the market, his phone was busy. She kept running as the man chased her. Unexpectedly, John appeared and confronted the man, who, upon seeing John, immediately fled. The next day, Magu called her friend to join her at the gym, but since he was sleeping, he told her to go ahead without him. When she got to the gym, she attempted to lift a very heavy weight. Since she couldn't do it alone, the trainer stepped in to help. While she was doing her workout, John suddenly showed up at the gym. When she saw him there, she was surprised, but he had started coming to the gym every morning to stay in shape. After that, they worked out together. Meanwhile, Jimin saw Park standing on the street with another girl. When she saw that, she became very upset. But Park, trying to calm her down, told her he was only helping the girl because she was sick. Since Jimin was angry, she walked away from the scene. The next day, John drove Magu to the university in his car. At that moment, he asked her if she would like to go to the movies with him, and she happily agreed. He then asked another question to get to know her better, whether she preferred watching movies alone or with other people, and what kind of movies she liked. Since the girl saw that the boy was really interested in her, she was very happy. A few days later, Jimin met with Park in the park so he could apologize to her. He promised never to repeat what he had done before, and she accepted the apology. Later, when she met with her friend Rusi, she told her that she had failed to confess her love to Park. She also asked how Rusi came to love that guy, since he seemed like a good person. Afterward, she told her that the guy had betrayed her. Sometime later, when Jimin was sitting on the street, a girl approached her and asked if she was the one waiting for Park. When she answered yes, the girl told her that Park was at the store with another girl. Immediately, Jimin rushed to the store and saw him with another girl, which made her very upset. When she questioned him about it, Park told her the girl was his sister. She then forgave him. He also explained that when she had called, he had been busy with family matters. That evening, when they went to a restaurant, she told him that she couldn't trust him anymore. Park, upset by this, suggested that they break up. When Jimin heard those words, she was shocked and told him that she still loved him and asked for time to rebuild her trust. Since they had been together for a while, breaking up wouldn't be easy, but she felt like Park no longer loved her. After their breakup, each of them went their separate ways. Jimin was deeply heartbroken. When she returned to the hotel, she told everything that had happened to Magu and Nuna while crying. Days later, Yangi wanted to save money for his sister's wedding, but since he was struggling with his family's livelihood, he couldn't afford it. Later, when he met with the police, they ordered him to repay the family debts owed. Elsewhere, as Magu was walking, she saw a poster advertising a party. She hesitated about whether to attend, but after much thought, she finally decided to go. When she entered the event hall, a guy came up to her and informed her of what had happened to her friend. When she called him, he didn't answer, so she rushed to where he was. When she got there, he was angry at her. She tried to calm him down and offered to pay the money he owed herself. This revealed that when the students went on a trip, this boy was working to support his family. He was considered a role model because he always helped his family. His biggest goal was to support them, but he failed to achieve his dream of paying off the debts. He had spent his entire youth struggling to improve his family's life. At the university, when Rusi and Park were walking together, A guy approached Park and threatened to post his private photo on social media. Park, furious about this, hit the guy and demanded that he delete the photo since it was taken without his consent. The young man refused, and the two got into a serious argument. Elsewhere, Jimin called Park, but he didn't answer. As she was walking down the street, she suddenly saw the two guys fighting. When she approached them, she slapped the guy. That night, while Ma-gu was with Ma-nu, John suddenly called. When Ma-nu saw it was John, he took the phone and told him angrily that he was upset because she had fallen in love with one of his close friends. He then declared that he was now dating Ma-gu's friend. When Ma-gu heard that, she was shocked and didn't know how to respond. That night, before going to bed, she opened her Instagram and deleted all the photos she had previously posted with John. The next morning, when John called, she apologized for not wanting to talk and told him she needed time alone after school. This was because John had decided to drop out of school and start working, especially since the money he had been saving had been stolen. He was emotionally devastated. At that moment, John promised the girl that he would help her friend and get him back into school. Later on, John met with Muna and told her not to lose hope, because anything lost can be recovered. He also immediately presented a new idea on how he could start earning money again. When Manu heard the idea, he was very impressed and immediately began discussing with John how they could bring it to life. Elsewhere, after Jimin finished her meal at the restaurant, she left, and while walking down the street, a young man approached her and asked for her number. He also introduced himself. His name was Peen. Meanwhile, Rusi unexpectedly ran into a guy as she came out of the bathroom. As for Jimin, while she was with Peen, someone took a photo of them. And since she and Peen were getting along, they exchanged numbers. Everything started beautifully. The next day, Ma-gu was spending time with her mother, and she was very happy. As they were chatting, her mother asked if she was in love. Immediately, she showed her a picture of John and told her that he was her new boyfriend. Her mother, however, bluntly told her that she didn't think he was good-looking. The following day, Ma-gu called her boyfriend and invited him to have coffee with her. She also encouraged him to return to school, but he told her he wanted to work and didn't have time for school anymore. Later, while walking down the street, she unexpectedly ran into him again and was delighted since it had been a long time. They went to a cafe and ordered coffee so they could spend time together. During their conversation, he gently brushed her hair from her face, revealing his affection for her. Afterward, when she looked at his phone, she saw many pictures of herself. Surprised, she asked about them, and he replied, "I love you, silly. The reason my phone is filled with your photos is because I miss you so much when you're not around. I've been hiding my feelings for a long time." That night, Ma-gu couldn't stop thinking about what he said, and she couldn't understand why he would fall for her despite being her friend. The next day, while she was at work, John came and brought her coffee so they could drink together. After chatting for a while, he left. Then her supervisor, who had seen her with John, came and asked about him. She told him John was her boyfriend. The supervisor was disappointed. He had a crush on her. Elsewhere, when Nuna left the gym, she met up with Peen, and they had a meal together, joking and laughing. A young man who was watching them from a distance secretly took their pictures, believing Peen wasn't good enough for the girl. Meanwhile, Ma-gu's boyfriend told her that a music competition would soon be held at their university, and that he hoped they would win. As they chatted, a classmate of theirs came over excitedly and told them she had won a raffle prize. When she saw Ma-gu looking upset, she assumed Ma-gu was jealous, but Ma-gu congratulated her sincerely. Just then, Nuna entered with flowers and told Ma-gu she was pregnant. Ma-gu assumed the baby was her boyfriend's, but it was later revealed the baby was from a fertility procedure and not related to her boyfriend. Later, when Peen met with the girl privately, he gave her a gift, which made her very happy and more fond of him. Eventually, when the university event arrived, all the students, including Ma-gu and her boyfriend, attended. They met Jin-hook and sat together, and he gave them treats. When they opened the envelopes handed to them, they learned that the night's talent showcase had one strict condition. Every participant must have a clean record with no prior misconduct. Ma-gu's boyfriend agreed to the terms. In another part of the event, a student was beating everyone at a hand game. Since no one could win, Park stepped up. Even though he tried hard, he lost in front of everyone. Ultimately, the original student won the competition. That night, the university held an art and music event. All the students came, and Ma-gu was invited on stage by the organizers. Her boyfriend then joined her and sang a love song, directly expressing his feelings to her in a sweet voice, making her realize the song was meant for her. After the event, Jimin and Park left together to spend some time alone. They entered a nearby photo booth, but another guy tried to follow them in. When he reached the entrance, the staff told him that only couples were allowed inside. Unhappy with that, the guy attacked the female attendant and forced his way in. Inside, he saw Ji-min and her boyfriend kissing. Shocked and unable to bear the sight, he quickly left the place. Elsewhere, for the first time, Yang decided to confess his love to Magu after hiding his feelings for a long time. After he confessed his love, she didn't give him any answer. Instead, she told him that they had been friends for 12 years, so she hadn't expected something like this from him. She added that he should have thought much more deeply about this love before presenting it to her. But he responded that the love he had for her was real, and that he had struggled for many years to gather the courage to tell her. After that, since she didn't know how to respond, she walked away from him. Sometime later, John visited Magu at her workplace and asked if she could join him for a coffee. But the girl was very upset, and when John saw her emotional state, he invited her to go to the movies together to cheer her up. Unfortunately, she declined, telling him she wanted to be alone. However, shortly after he left, she quickly followed him and told him that she couldn't yet understand her own feelings. "I need time to adjust to you," she said. "Right now I'm confused, so give me a chance to think about our relationship." Then she left. Meanwhile, Magu's close friend had seen the entire exchange and was surprised by her decision. Days later, Magu was offered a journalism training program, and a girl who was with her told her she would help her with anything related to the program. "You can ask me anything you want and I'll assist you," she said. Later, Magu's friend helped the girl when Magu left. Then the girl told him that she and Magu would be learning journalism skills together. He was quite shocked, as it was the first time Magu had taken on something without involving him. After that, the guy asked the girl where the training would take place. Later, when they were attending the training, Yang was also there. Though Magu was surprised to see him at the event, she was also happy that he cared about her this much. Sometime later, when they were alone, Yang confessed his love to Magu again for the third time, saying, "I'm telling you again so you understand my feelings are real." But she told him to control his emotions, explaining, "I truly don't have any feelings for you. You're like a brother to me, and nothing bad has ever happened between us." Later, Magu and the other girl went to the training room, and while they were there, they were shocked to discover that the photographer for the program was Jin-hook. They were very happy to be working with him. Later, when they left the place, Nuna was very ill. Her blood sugar had dropped and she fainted. They quickly took her to the hospital to save her. The next day, Magu received a call from her mother, who asked her to keep an eye on her daughter since her behavior had become strange lately. "She didn't eat anything today," the mother said. Afterward, when the boy met with Magu, he asked why she hadn't visited her mother midweek and also said, "Your mother told me you haven't eaten all day. She asked me to bring you some food." Then they both reminisced about their school days, when they always used to eat together and go everywhere side by side. But now things had changed. He asked if they could eat together again, but she told him she had already eaten and walked away from him. The next day, the group of youths were hanging out and were all happy, except for Park, who, at the time, saw Jimin with her friends. He knew the chances of getting close to her again were slim because of the falling out they had. Later, while Park was at the cafeteria, he received a message saying his application had been accepted and that he could participate in the upcoming competition. He and his friends were thrilled, and even Magu, though quiet, was happy for his success. She then drank some water. Sometime later, Park met Rusi and told her that Jimin had broken up with him because she was jealous of someone else he had been spending time with. Rusi then promised him that she would bring them back together again. Park admitted that, even though Jimin had left him, he could not forget her. He always had her in his thoughts. Elsewhere, while Nuna was at the garden, Mike came to her and asked if she would like to take on a role at the radio station since their training was over. Meanwhile, as Magu and her friend were walking, her friend sent her a message. When Magu opened it, she realized he had secretly recorded a video of her. She then asked him to stop following her and to keep his distance from her. Elsewhere, Nuna was spending time with Jin-hook, and the two of them had a long conversation and got along well. During their chat, Nuna told Jin-hook that she liked eating alone because she feared embarrassing herself if she ate in front of others. Meanwhile, Peen invited Jimin to his house and cooked her favorite meal. After she returned home, she sent him a message thanking him. She also received a message from Park asking her to meet him outside. Shortly after they met, he apologized for everything he had done wrong in the past. He hoped she would return to him and accept his apology, but she refused and told him that what happened between them wasn't right, and that he should forget about it. "We should start new lives," she said, and then she walked away. When Park saw this, he was deeply saddened. Meanwhile, Magu's friend tried to forget about her since she had made it clear. The next day, when the two of them met, he asked her to return his jacket. He said, "I gave you this jacket because I loved you, but now that we're just friends, I need it back. Later, Junhook and Nuna went to a fortune teller to learn about their luck. The fortune teller told them that they were destined to be together. He said, "This boy is the one for you, and if you marry, you'll even have the chance to go to the moon." Junhook was upset by this and insisted that such a thing was impossible. After leaving the place, Nuna followed him and told him not to be angry and to calm down. Then they went to a restaurant to eat together. Nuna asked Junhook whether he believed the fortune teller or not. Later, when everyone was together, Junhook said the reason he brought them together was to reunite them all. The next day, Manu received a call from his brother-in-law inviting him to dinner. During the dinner, his brother-in-law asked for their home address, saying he wanted to bring a gift for his wedding anniversary, something he hadn't been allowed to do before. Sometime later, we see Junhook walking with Nuna. When he tried to hold her hand, she pulled away, telling him that her life was short and she didn't have time to spend with him. When Magu saw them, they quickly separated and told her they were just talking and that nothing was going on between them. Junhook also revealed he had failed in his attempt to enter the upcoming competition, but Magu encouraged him, telling him his app idea was worth $30 million. How could you give up on your potential? If you finish and sell that app, you could make a lot of money and change your life. But he said the only one who could help him with that was his sister. Later, when he shared this with his sister, she got angry and was disappointed in him, but he told her he did it all for her. Meanwhile, Jimin was selected as the class leader after winning the competition, and all the students congratulated her. Some of them asked her about her relationship with Park, and she told them they had broken up. Then they said Park had sent them to try to reconcile the two of them. Later, when he called, Jimin told him she was upset that he didn't come to support her at the contest. He then asked her to meet that night so they could celebrate together. In another scene, Magu met up with her friend, but just then her phone rang. It was a call from Manu. Magu, seeing this, felt a little jealous, but she controlled her emotions. The next day, by coincidence, Magu ran into Youngi and immediately told him she had plans with Manu. She asked if she looked good, and he told her she looked amazing. Later, when the girl met with Manu, they joked and ate together. During their conversation, she asked him what he would do if he were in Magu's position. Without hesitation, he said he would choose Magu, because she was always on his mind. Elsewhere, Park sent Jimin a romantic video congratulating her. When she saw it, she was overwhelmed with joy and forgot all the pain from the past. With laughter and fond memories, they finally got back together. Park promised he would never break her heart again and that she would now be his entire world. Finally, Jimin forgave Park after witnessing his sincerity. In another scene, Manu confessed his love to Magu one last time. He explained that he had only intended to be friends with her, but unexpectedly, he had fallen in love. Magu was thrilled when she heard this. She told him that the reason she had rejected him was because she didn't want to lose him, as she had also fallen in love with him. In the end, these two who had been longtime friends finally became a couple. What began as friendship had blossomed into deep, heartfelt love. The end.